Hey guys, MeLikeBigBoom here, and welcome to Unturned 3.10.5. Today's update was a major one in that it actually changes the way our game looks, and it looks a lot better, especially with everything on max. In addition to these graphical changes, we've also had some performance optimizations for networking regarding structures and barricades and zombies and vehicles and everything. Pretty much everything has been optimized in this update, and in addition to that, we pretty much have a wider range of options when it comes to graphical settings. So when you go in here, I currently have everything set on ultra except for like I turned off motion blur and clouds turned off to make editing less choppy, and motion blur because I just don't really like motion blur that much in video games. But you can see that now you can set everything to ultra, whereas before you could only really set it on high. And now you can even go below low. I mean, if you have an absolutely atrocious computer, you can set everything on off and set the draw distance way down on everything here, and your game will run smoother than butter. So if I take this off, you can see that I'm getting 148 frames per second. Not half bad, but the game is very basic. Look at this. This is pretty funny. So I mean, if I take a before shot right here, we'll set it to dawn right here, and then if we set everything on high, or actually ultra this time, it's looking pretty sweet. Now in terms of changes from this update to previously, some shadows. This is the number one thing that I noticed, is that the shadows are a lot smoother. We have softer shadows, whereas before it was pixelated. And in a little bit I'm going to show you guys some before. Ah, God, I ran over my caltrips. I'm going to show you some before and after pictures of this. Some things are a little bit easier to notice. Some things are slight changes that really you'd have to look at quite a bit to notice. But overall, I think, I mean, everything looks pretty sweet. I mean, you can see that we have some ambient occlusion going on with these individual pieces of grass. The shadows are nice and soft. It's even casting the shadow on the grass right there. That's pretty cool. But anyway, just going from the top of the graphic settings down to the bottom, if you have the debris quality off, blood and ragdolls just simply won't appear. And if it's on ultra, then they will appear and they will disappear after 4 minutes. And I don't know the specific values in between, but like if I kill this zombie here, I should probably use a gun, shouldn't I? Get away from the other guys. You can see that he just disappears when you kill him. So your computer doesn't have to deal with ragdolls and blood and stuff like that. That can be intensive on your computer, or aka potato if you're having to go down this low. Foliage density on off just simply gets rid of the grass. Lighting quality on off just pretty much gets rid of the shadows. And in terms of in between, if it's on low, once again, no shadows, not sure what's changed there. On medium, it adds the shadows, but you can see they're very pixelated. On high, it softens them a little bit more, and on ultra, they're fully softened and they're looking nice and smooth, nice shadows. Now in water quality, this has actually some pretty significant changes between each tier of graphic settings. So right now it's on ultra, but if you turn it down onto nothing, it will just be a solid flat color, nothing but some slight reflection on the sun, but it's just flat. It doesn't dynamically go up and down. It doesn't have soft edges around here. It's just flat. Turning it on medium is pretty much the same thing, except it's got some waves going on at the shore. Turning it on high softens the edges a little bit, so you can actually see under the water. And then on ultra, it adds the reflections. Lastly, the scope resolution just changes the resolution of when you're looking down your scope. Right now it's on ultra, so there isn't any sort of pixelation to be seen. If it is off, it just pretty much gets rid of the overlay. So I mean, you can see down, it just zooms in just like this. And also, if you have that scope resolution off, it does not zoom in as far as it normally would. Putting it on low makes the game seriously pixelated when you look down the scope. And on medium, it's just a little bit less pixelated. On high, once again, just a little bit less. And of course on ultra, there's pretty much none to be seen. Now when it comes to ambient occlusion, like on this grass, on the base of this tree, and pretty much any sort of objects in the game, and also bloom, which essentially brightens up the sun, contrasts the colors a little bit better, and I can show you before and after with bloom off. You can see that it just kind of brightens everything up and makes the sun appear a lot brighter, like it kind of would in real life. Anyway, all of that comes at no performance cost. If your computer could run it before, it's going to be able to run it now at the same settings. What does come at a performance cost is like the new soft shadows if you have it set on ultra. I think that's the big hitter, but pretty much everything else does have a slight performance impact. I personally haven't experienced much of anything before and after this update. You know, before, especially being right near Stratford, I was getting around 70 frames per second, and now I'm getting pretty much clean 60, kind of jumps up to 62. Keep in mind that VSync is off right now, it just happens to be around 60 frames per second. But I think one of the major things affecting you guys is the ability to take those graphic settings even lower than what they were. So you guys were, some of you guys like running on laptops and stuff like that, were having trouble playing the game above like 40 frames per second, and being able to just simply turn things off completely. I mean, it makes the game not look so pretty, but you'll be able to actually play it. I think that's pretty much the most important part of this update. On the screen right now, I'm going to show some before and after pictures from this update. You can see the softer shadows on the caltrips that I placed down. Before, they were kind of pixelated. You could see the edges were real jagged, and then after the update, they're a lot softer, pretty nice. In this early morning shot of Stratford, upon first glance, the before and after picture doesn't look all that much different, but if you look up close, you can see the softer shadows, you can see the ambient occlusion on the grass down at the ground and at the base of the trees. The sun is a lot more bright and prominent. In terms of up-close water reflections, before and after, there really isn't much to be seen, especially because the water's moving and you aren't really able to appreciate the new reflection resolution at that kind of level. But from far away, where you aren't seeing the water move and the waves, you can see that before, the reflection of that mountain in the background very pixelated, and after, it's been smoothed out a lot more. Now those are just stationary pictures. I think it's important for you guys also to see what the game looks like when you're actually playing it, going around shooting some zombies. So I'm just going to leave the footage running for like a minute or so of me just running through Stratford, shooting up some zombies, maybe driving some cars. But as of right now, that is all I have for now for the Unturned 3.10.5.0 update. I didn't really discuss the specifics of additions, improvements, tweaks, fixes, all that stuff in the update post, but if you guys would like to check out those specifics, as always, I will put the full update post in the description down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to rate, comment, subscribe, and do all that gibberish, because MeLikeBigBoom is out.